It's the End of the Day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting ready to start my 8th season of the End of the Day with Ray. I thank all of the sponsors and supporters and viewers. It's been an exciting time, man. I'm looking so forward to year number 8. But every year I have a annual awards roast, and it's time for my 2025 annual awards roast. Folks, these are the awards a lot of people don't want to win, but I can't help that. But the way it works is this. I'm going to go ahead and show you a category, and then I'm going to show you some words that are missing the very first letter. We'll apply those first letters. That could be a clue to who the winner is. Look, the audience picks the winners, okay? I'm just giving you the kind of the award and then the words that could help guide you to the winner. But some of these words could spell things very familiar to you. You know, they might even spell a company's name, for instance, but that could be 100% coincidental because you, the audience, pick the winners. So without any further ado, let's jump on that gigantic, sharp, interactive board and, well, let's talk about some awards. You ready? The first award is, I call it the Benefiting by Ray's Pull Award. You know, I have a massive platform here, and, you know, if I post content about a particular company, well, you know, they could end up having people go to that company's LinkedIn page. So who benefited the most by Ray's pull in 2025? So let's throw in those first letters. You can see we got the words over there missing the first letter. Let's pop in those first letters. Knowing Marketplace believes Stashesco, that's my last name, obviously, ultimately scores attendance. Knowing Marketplace believes Stashesco ultimately scores attendance. So that basically, that's kind of an ad, what is it? KMBSUSA. KMBSUSA. And folks, I saw this post by Kaneka Monulta. And they were talking about how their LinkedIn page went over 100,000 followers. And I'm thinking, wow. You know, I put a lot of stuff out there about Kaneka Monulta. The people, you know, they watch the videos and they end up going to the Kaneka Monulta site and they're saying, oh, I should follow this company. I mean, because you know Kaneka Monulta, you know, a lot of financial stress on that company, right? So people are probably like, hey, I want to follow every one of those, you know, subsidiaries of Kaneka Monulta. All their different business units. We got to start following them. Well, congratulations, Kaneka Monulta, for getting over 100,000 followers on your LinkedIn page. And I'm guessing I had a lot to do with that. Ladies and gentlemen, next award. I call it the Pushed Out the Door Award. Industry's worst termination decision. You can see we got the words over here missing the first letters. Let's apply those first letters. CEO engages disingenuous argument, resulting ramifications, a president's involuntary departure, suit. Wow, that's a lot of words, right? What is that? Ladies and gentlemen, that spells Cedar Rapids. Cedar Rapids. So that maybe that's a clue to who could win the Pushed Out the Door Award. But I got to tell you, I can imagine who could win it. Can you? Let's see what the next award is. Industrial Print Innovation Meeting Reality Check. I call this the Business Dreams in Court Award. Huh. We got the letters there. Let's put the first letters up against those words. Large ambition, now deemed abstract. Large ambition, now deemed abstract. That spells Landa, Landa. Well, that could be coincidental. That could be the winner. Wow, you see how this works? Crazy stuff. Let's see what else we got here. Wannabe software provider with worst talking points. I call it the Merry-Go-Round Award. We got the words there. Let's apply those first letters. Not understanding that jargon omits belief. It spells nut job. Folks, have you ever heard, you know, one of these software providers tell you about all the stuff their stuff does? It's like, oh, it's like if you're like on a merry-go-round, you're like, shut the hell up, you know, what does it actually do, you know? The Nut Job Award. Whew, boy, I can imagine who could win that one. OEM with most delusional aspirations. I call this the Pie in the Sky Award. We got the words there. Let's apply those first letters. Knowledgeless organization never injects competent alignments. Wow. Knowledgeless organization never injects competent alliance. You know, folks, that spells Kaneka, but they could be completely 100% coincidental. But the organization that would win the Pie in the Sky Award would actually be a knowledgeless organization never injecting competent alignments. I mean, that would make sense, right? Whew, I can tell you, this is a crazy game, isn't it? Greatest mishap from DHS UFLPA ban on 9-Star. I call this the Running from the Truth Award. We got some words there. Let's apply those letters. Let's see what we got here. Lies excusing extreme management atrocities. Repressing knowledge. Wow, there's a lot in that. It spells Lexmark. Could be totally coincidental, but let me just read this again. Lies excusing extreme management atrocities. Repressing knowledge. The Running from the Truth Award. Can you imagine who could win that? I sure as hell can. Wow, man. Mega dealer who provided its BDC lender with largest quarterly loss. I call this the Millions in the Trash Award. Millions in the Trash Award. And let's see, we got some words here. Let's go ahead and put those first letters. Value evaporating, intolerable trajectory. Wow. Value evaporating, intolerable trajectory. It spells V-E-I-T. Could be 100% coincidental. But folks, I can imagine who could win the Millions in the Trash Award. Wow, unbelievable. Lowest Cost Printer Manufacturer Award. For Lowest Cost Manufacturing Award, well, we got some words there. Let's go ahead and put those letters there. What do we got here? Prisoners allowed, never tell, unlimited manufacturing. Prisoners allowed, never tell, unlimited manufacturing. It spells Pantum. Again, it could be 100% coincidental. But I sure as hell could imagine who could win the Lowest Cost Printer Manufacturer Award. Greatest threat to actual improvement. I call this the No Reason to Work Hard Award. Don't even try. We got some words there. Let's go ahead and put in those first letters there. Knowing everyone yearns platitudes. Offer immaterial nonsensical trophies. Knowing everyone yearns platitudes, offer immaterial nonsensical trophies. It spells key point. Well, that kind of makes sense, right? You know. But wait, hang on a second. I'm getting some information. You know, I got a producer back there giving me some information in my invisible, earpiece. Hang on a second. They said there's more words we got to look at. Let me just see what we got here. Oh, here's another clue to the winner. Celebrating artificially nullifies needing achieving true accolades. And that spells C-A-N-N-A-T-A. Celebrating artificially nullifies needing achieving true accolades. Boy, this is we got a couple different ways we could come up with the No Reason to Work Hard Award. But I can imagine the winners of that one. Wow. Greatest farce on financials. I call this the Greatest Financial Bullshit Award. Folks, let's put the letters at those words. What do we got here? Knowingly measuring bullshit, and it spells KMBS. Knowingly measuring bullshit, and, folks, I gotta tell you. Now, wait a second. I know some people are saying, Ray, it seems like, maybe Kaneka Monulta's winning a lot of these awards. No one ever complained about Kaneka Monulta's, U.S. president winning Executive of the Year like 12 years in a row. No one complained about that, so if they get a lot of awards here, I can't help it. Again, these are all just coincidental. Maybe they are the real winners. I mean, the audience decides. We all use our imagination. But the Greatest Financial Bullshit Award, you're looking for a company that knowingly measures bullshit, I would have to say that, KMBS sounds pretty good for that one. Worst treatment of workers. I call this the Worst Worker Benefits Award. Worst Worker Benefits Award. Well, let's see what those first letters are. Holy smokes. No incentives needed. Enslave, spoke the authoritarian ruler. Wow. No incentives needed. Enslave, spoke the authoritarian leader, and that spells 9-star. Again, it could be completely 100% coincidental. Or it could be a good candidate to be the winner of the Worst Worker Benefits Award. Because we all know, 9-star did get banned by Department of Homeland Security, all that stuff. But wow, that's crazy stuff. Most delusional AI talk track. Dumbest interview award, I call this. Folks, we've seen some CEOs of some of the OEM friends we have out there, and they talk about AI and stuff. But let's just see what this is. Let's put the letters there with those words. Hiding problems in nutty conversations. And that spells H-P-I-N-C-H-P-E. Well, they could actually be the winner of this. I mean, we've heard their CEO talking about putting the AI in the PC, all that kind of stuff. Every time his quarterly numbers come out, he goes out and does the interviews. So I'm thinking the dumbest interview award could actually be HP Inc. I'm going to go ahead and give him that award. I don't even want you all to, send in your people you think should win. Holy smokes. System to beat Kaneka Monulta at worst profitability. I call this the Heading Off the Cliff Award. Well, we got some words there. Let's go ahead and put those letters in there. Repeating incompetency causing optimistic hallucinations. Repeating incompetency causing optimistic hallucinations. This spells Rico. I mean, again, it could be very, very coincidental. I mean, we know that, Kaneka Monulta obviously really bad at operating profit. And the Rico side, I think they're like right behind Kaneka Monulta. They do stay above the line, but just barely. So maybe they should be getting the Heading Off the Cliff Award. Wow. What else we got here, ladies and gentlemen? This is the last award, Unneeded Association. The Unneeded Certification Award. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, we got some certifications out there I think are complete nonsense nuttiness. And we got some words here. Let's go ahead and put those letters with the words. Manipulating people's stupidity again, it spells MPSA. Now, that again could be 100% coincidental. You all decide who you think should win that award. Like all the other awards I presented here today, these are audience picks. Ladies and gentlemen, use your imagination. Because everybody watching me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck there. Thanks for watching my annual awards roast. And I'll see you tomorrow, starting year number 8.